This is Paul. Yes. My duty, yeah, as a citizen and my responsibility. See, when I found out a foreign nation was going to spend that much money, right, to put that many people underground, yes, removing that much dirt, yes, building some sort of concrete tunnel enclosure, yes, and then like an electric train or something, yes, where it's electricity driven. A smooth surface that can be squeegeed means that I could keep all the water from all the rain. Now the issue is the hovering effect. Yeah. You want to make sure that it doesn't just float off the top of the very smooth surface. Yes. So that you end up hovering 30 to 40 feet above the ground. That's right. Now this taxes that we're paying. Yes. Let's say we had a squeegee, yes, that went along and cleared off the water, yes, and this type of transport, right? It does work. You can put a propeller in the back instead of underneath it, yes, and it can push you up a hill. Pooh! You could put one in the front, yes, and if you were going downhill, yes, it would slow you down. Now, it would. So there's this big problem of the taxation as a duty and responsibility of the citizens of the United States. Now, I think it could be a $1 trillion deal. You're going to spend $28 billion dollars to mass transport persons from one location to another, where I could take out the old traffic lights. Yes. I could put up beams approximately 30, maybe 32 feet. Yes. Could put a little ridge around it and one of these sculptures where the water is squeegeed into it. Yes. Adding to the municipal water supply. Yeah, you could. Mhm. Now, I'm giving you a deal on this recycled garbage, okay? I'm making it depending upon the weight of a full load. Yes. And we have to take in consideration that something could happen. Yes. And it can support the weight of a fully loaded mass transport similar to a subway, but it's not made of metal because you don't have any tracks. Yes. You don't have a big metal engine. No, you don't. In fact, I would think the weight of the mass transport is probably 1/4 of the weight of the Sound Transit. Now, there's the consideration of the hovering effect. Oh, since it doesn't actually touch the very smooth surface, yes, it could go maybe an inch to 2 inches above that smooth surface, yes, and the hovering effect could actually hover it along. It's possible you might get up to speeds to 100 to 150 miles per hour. Pew! Now, let's say you wanted to look at something other than the magnetic bullet trains. Yes. Something that's not dependent upon electricity. Yes. Something that can transport persons in relative comfort at 1/4 the weight of the actual train itself. Yeah. Now, I'm willing to set this up for you. Now, I'm going to make some money on the smelting of the recycled junk cars from a steam generator that converts all that steam. Because when you make a metal of that strength, it won't break. Only has to be about an inch in diameter and it can completely support it. Yes, it can. Now, you're going to need multiple stops along the way. Yes. And you could just make some sort of thing that goes over it approximately 10 feet. Yes. And you could connect the wire. Yes. Could be 100. It could be 100 miles. Yes, it could. And you just keep connecting, and it just goes right along there, just like a subway, just like a train. The only difference is the actual mass transport itself weighs 1/4 the amount of one of your combustion bomb. Now, let's say it snowed. No, the scoping effect, yes, of pushing, yeah. It is a hovering type of vehicle. Mhm. It can hover on snow. In fact, there's a blowing sensation when you have propellers underneath it. Yes. You could blow the snow the opposite way. You could blow it off the smooth surface. Yes, you could. And if necessary, it can be removed. You just kind of push it along well, the blades that they use when there's a snowing effect. Yes. Now, what if there's a tornado? Good idea. You can make it aerodynamic. What if there's a windstorm? A lot of dust? Just blow it out of the way. Now, I think it is a viable way to move billions of individuals. Yes, it is. Now, how am I going to get paid? Well, I'm going to sell it to you. I'm going to get paid on the metal because it needs to be metal, yes, and it needs to connect, but it doesn't need the electricity because the wobbler and the salt fusion produce enough electricity for your personal electronics while traveling. Yes. The metal itself there is to keep the hovercraft upon the smooth surface so that it doesn't float off. Yes. And if there's an earthquake, we design it. Yes. So it falls apart and you just hang there without anything to worry about. That's right. Now, I'm going to get paid to recycle the garbage. And it's going to be one of these steam generators at about 2,500 to 3,000 degrees to use up that garbage. I get the empty garbage dumps. I know that's upsetting to you, but since you're not going to be putting garbage in the ground, I'm going to turn them into smooth surface, yes, mass transport systems, yes, that go above pre-existing roads, yes.